Welcome to Voices of Bungoma, sir. We are glad to have you.
Karibu.
Asante. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Mabanga.
Karibu sana. I'm Wilfred Soita. I'm the principal Mabanga ATC. And Mabanga Agriculture Training Center is an institution under the Ministry of Agriculture, whereby I report to the Chief Officer of Agriculture and Education. Then the Minister of Agriculture is my minister. ATC, in brief, that's how it's called, ATC. We sit on 100 acres of land, and in this institution is divided into two portions. We have the school and the farm. The school sits on 40 acres, where we have the structures, offices, roads, and everything else. And then the farm sits on 60 acres.
Yes.
Now, what we do here, on the side of the school, we literally conduct trainings. And we offer services in the following areas. In catering, we have conferencing, we have accommodation, and on the farm, of course, we have various activities. One of them is we have what we call commercial enterprises, where we plant different crops and also raise livestock and even poultry for the purpose of generating revenue for the county government of Bungoma. Then the other side, we have also model farms, where farmers come here to learn various technologies in different areas. And lastly, we also host a number of stakeholders, especially research organizations in the Republic of Kenya, mainly seed companies. We have universities who are agriculture based. We have research organizations like Carro. They are all here. They do their trials in Mabanga.
Yes.
So Mabanga generally, that's why it does exist. It's there for farmers and stakeholders.
Yes.
And the core function is to facilitate these areas, these stakeholders and farmers to be trained in various technologies. And that's why we're here.
Okay, you've told me there are two sections, of course, but I will not delve much into it. Let me ask more about the services.
Yes.
There have been a lot of questions actually being directed to us about the seedlings, probably which kind of seedlings do you provide? And also, you've said the partners who do testing here. How does that benefit, or when they test on this soil, are those seedlings tailored purely for the Bungoma market or for this region?
Okay. We have, may I just begin with the last question about what stakeholders do in Mabanga? They do research. In fact, we have what we call national trials. National trials, if I may just give an example. Before a seed is put to the market, for example, if I may use maize seed. I know most farmers understand when you talk of maize seed, like hybrid 614. Okay, that's a maize seed that was tried out in various areas across the Republic of Kenya. But before it was released to the farmers, and it cannot be released directly to the farmers, it's through the agrovet. It was done, there was what we call national trial, and it was done in such a kind of environment, Mabanga being one of them. So we have continuous research that goes on by these research organizations on daily basis. And whenever they want to release a new variety, a new technology to farmers, they test them in Mabanga ATC.
Yes.
And in this place, of course, the environment is suitable, and we have what we call agroecological zones within Western region. Mabanga ATC has a very large catchment, because what grows here may grow even in Kakamega, part of Trans Nzoia, and even Busia. So our catchment cuts across. Most of these trials done here It's a question of, does it perform? If it performs, then it doesn't mean that it only grows in Mabanga. It can grow in this huge area of Western region. Yes.
So for those farmers who ask and like, okay, Mabanga is a place where these crops are being tested. How can I, I understand that there are those who come to take seedlings from here. Beyond the maize, you also have coffee seedlings that I believe are subsidized, courtesy of the county government. You have macadamia, you have avocado. How can a farmer easily access this? And most will ask, what's the process? How do I get to Mabanga and how do I live there with a macadamia seed? And also, do you provide the technical know-how that someone can come here and source for an extension officer to go with to the ground to help them know if the seed that they're getting is right for their ground?
Thank you. You're asking that question like you are an agriculture officer, because that's a very relevant question. In fact, what I was explaining initially is research and development. But when it comes to extension, we have a number of enterprises here. Remember I mentioned that we have model farms. Model farms include even tree nursery. We have a large tree nursery here with different types of seedlings. We have fruit tree seedlings, agroforestry seedlings. We have, you mentioned coffee. Like for example, for the last 1 or 2 years, we have established a coffee nursery, which is certified by Ruiru. Coffee is in the Republic of Kenya is actually managed and administered from Ruiru. And Mabanga has been chosen to be one of the centers where we have a large nursery for production of coffee. And when you want to access this kind of seedling, because a nursery is supposed to be certified with a certificate from the relevant authorities before you produce a seedling and sell to farmers. It has to have a source, it has to have a history. So Mabanga, as being an institution which is well established, our nurseries are certified. We have certificates and we work very closely with the different authorities across the government sector, and therefore they monitor what we perform here. For example, if you want seedlings, coffee seedlings, like last year we had around 40,000 coffee seedlings. Of course, we are supported by the county government of Bungoma, where we are given the seed and other materials that support the nursery establishment. But then in Mabanga, of course, we have the technology, we have the know-how and skills, and we have even the labor. So we set up the nursery, we developed the nursery, and we raised 40,000 seedlings, which of course was given to farmers at a very low price, which was set by the county government of Bungoma, as well by our minister and our governor. Normally, one seedling out there, it costs between 30 and 50. But here in Mabanga, for the first batch, it was decided that we sell them at 10 shillings. That was almost like for free. And that's why those seedlings were picked very fast, especially by farmers from Bungoma County and Mount Elko. So this year, we've been challenged. We realized the demand is there. So we have now established even a larger nursery. We are expecting to raise about between 300 and 400,000 seedlings.
Those are coffee seedlings.
Coffee seedlings.
And
we have many other varieties, different types of seedlings, but I'm talking about coffee.
Yes.
Because that's a major catchment now. And remember, currently, as an extension wing of the Ministry of Agriculture, we are advocating for farmers to go in for coffee production. Why? Because that is it's a money minting enterprise. It's very important for farmers to value and embrace coffee production. That's why we're giving priority number 1. So this financial year, we believe we are going to raise between 300 and 400,000 seedlings, but we shall sell them at market price. slightly below the market price. So far, we've made some advertisements. We've sent out a word, and many farmers are really interested. Some have already started reserving and even booking, bringing some deposit. One seedling, we are going to sell it at 30 shillings. Of course, the rest of the market is at 5 and above. So we're going to do 5 shillings less because we want to support our farmers. We want to see our farmers going in to raise coffee as an enterprise.
Probably just on that, you've said that people are booking. And I think that's where many farmers will be very curious to understand. What is the booking process? Like, when can I book if I'm a farmer? That's the question someone will ask. And how long do I have to wait before the coffee seedling is brought, or I'm ready to receive the coffee seedling?
Okay, may I just begin from the last part?
Yes.
Normally, we raise coffee seedlings and we do the timing so that the season, by the time it's ready, the season for planting is ready. For example, right now we are doing what we call pricking. Pricking is, of course, lifting the seedlings from the nursery, then putting them in polytubes. That's what we are doing right now. And that kind of exercise will take about 2-3 weeks. Now, those seedlings will take 3 to 4 months to be ready. So we are targeting next year. Okay? The seedlings we are having in the nursery right now will be ready for planting in the next rain season, 2023. So which means by that time, they will be around knee-high in terms of height, and in terms of thickness, it will be pencil thick, like this size of this pen. So that is when it's ready for transplanting into the main farm. So after pricking, it shall undergo what we call hardening stage. It takes a long time, about 3-4 months. That's when it will be ready now to be sold out to the farmers at 30 shillings per one.
Thank you so much.
But now the first question, if you want to reserve, of course, I'm going to give my contact. We normally we are working closely with the Department of Finance, so that we are able to get a till number or M-Pesa number, pay bill number from Mabanga ATC. That one we have not done yet because this is government money. So there are processes and procedures to follow. Once we have that till or pay bill number, we shall be making it possible, and we shall make it available to social media and any other media, so that people know. It will be easier for people to pay through those services, through M-Pesa services.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you can just call us directly. Then we direct you on how to pay, because we have an account number, an operation number for the bank ATC, which is in KCB Bank. That number, of course, it's my kind of who knows it offhand.
It will be shared.
I don't want to give maybe a wrong digit, but we shall, of course, make it available.
Upon request, I think will be better.
We should be able to make it available to you.
Probably, if we move forth, you've really explained well on crop.
Yes.
But Mabanga is more than crop farming.
Yes.
I have walked around the farm, I've seen animals. You have pigs, you have dairy animals, and so much. Well, does it work in the same manner, or how does now the animal section work? And what is how can someone come by? I had someone actually come visit up to this point, and they asked me, can I go to Mabanga and buy a cow that is pregnant or with milk already, has a calf and has milk? So probably you can be able to answer some of those questions.
Thank you, Abel. It's true. Mabanga is generally, we are holistic. We are all complete. We have all sectors of agriculture. We have livestock, we have poultry, we have fisheries, we have rabbits. All of them are here. We are all round. That's why it's a center of excellence. It means anything to do with agriculture, you will find it here. We have even machineries. We have tractors. We have everything. Anything to do with agriculture. Even variation. We have things here. We convert what we produce on the farm into something that can be sold readily on the market. So there are various. May I just talk about livestock?
Yes, please.
Livestock, yes, it's well established. We have 2 zero grazing units, one which is almost complete, and there's another one which is already in use. We have a number of animals which are in production, and then we have pigs, we have rabbits, we have fish bones, 2 of them which are productive, and on the side of poultry, that's another high value enterprise that we have in this
Mabanga.
report. Right now, we have up to 8 incubators, which we are doing 1 day old chicks.
Yes.
Because, like, for example, after this interview, if you went to the poultry section,
Yes.
we just operationalized the first incubator 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Of course, we have procured them recently through the county government of Bungoma. They procured for us. We are just operationalizing them. And the first batch of eggs were fed into the first incubator 3 weeks ago. As we are talking, the first first batch of 1 day old chicks, I think they started showing signs today morning. So in the next 2-3 days, we might be having up between 700 and 1,000
Chicks.
1 day old chicks. And
Wow.
this is what we are going to do. We want to start producing on weekly basis. Every incubator, because one incubator has a capacity of 1,056 eggs. So we shall be loading one incubator per week. So which means tukianza kuagua itakuwa continuously. Every week we'll be having at least 1 day old chick, maybe on Thursdays, maybe on Fridays. So which means we want to start looking for the market where farmers can reserve and book. Next week, for example, a farmer needs 500. He can reserve early so that come that day when it's ready, it just simply comes and picks it.
Yes. Probably on the poultry. Last time I visited here, you mentioned a partnership between Mabanga, I don't know if it's still there, and the Chwele chicken slaughter.
Yeah,
Shifa
Chicks.
Yes, I believe that the one's running the Chwele chicken slaughter.
Yes.
Probably as a farmer, how does that relationship, if I come to buy chicks from you, are they like buying direct from farmers, or how do you guide a farmer who's coming to buy from you?
Remember, at the mentioned we have a number of stakeholders in Mabanga.
Yes, sir.
Chwele Chicks, Shiva Chicks is one of the stakeholders who are operating for Mabanga ATC.
All right.
So they requested for space. We did an MOU, and we gave them a building to run their business. They brought in a hatchery, and then they have also incubators and brooders. So they run their business independently. Just like when I said Carlo is here,
Yes.
Carlo comes in with its own package.
As a stakeholder.
As a stakeholder, they run their
All right.
business.
All right.
So for us, we are having our own business running parallel to them.
Oh, yes.
And what we do, if they require some chicks from us, we sell them to them.
Able to provide.
Now, if they have table bags which are ready for sale, we buy them for our kitchen.
All right.
So that's how we relate.
Oh,
but
thank you.
everybody is doing his own or her own business. Independently. But although we collaborate.
Yes. Finally, I think let's talk on the training section.
Yes.
You've been able to tell me that you're looking to transition more and provide more training services. The name of the school is Mabanga Agricultural Training Center. Probably expound more on the training and which kind of trainings you offer and how frequently you provide them.
Okay. May I begin from this end?
Yes, sir.
Initially, it was Farmers Training Center, which it transformed in 2010 into Agricultural Training Center. We brought on board a number of stakeholders. So it actually widened up its operations. Now, ATC has been in operation, especially when it comes to training. We've been offering the following services. We offer accommodation, catering, and conference facilities. Where if you have a training, an organized training. You simply come in and request for spares and these other services, so you pay for it. That's revenue for the government. So, for example, a team of say 20 participants who have been organized by GIZ, they ask for spaces. It's like a hotel.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But now we also have what we call an outreach program for Mabanga ATC. We also organize our own and stage our own trainings where we identify participants amongst farmers. Then if we have a technology we want to pass to farmers, we bring them here, we accommodate them at our own cost, we train them, then of course they go back and implement. And what we normally do, once we have trained them, we make a follow-up. Under that outreach program, we make follow-ups. For example, a farmer has come here for training in poultry. So we say, okay, in the next 2 weeks, we shall be visiting you to see how you are implementing. In the case of any problem also, they can come back to us for more consultations. So those kind of trainings, we also stage them here. Now, it's from that kind of package that we want to improve and then begin what we call vocational training center, ADVET, okay, agriculture training, vocational training center. We applied 2 years ago, and we recently we were able to be given an accreditation. Accreditation, it means we have a certificate where we've been given a go ahead to study staging that short courses, especially craft courses
Around agriculture.
Just based on what goes on in Mabanga and then in Bungoma County.
Yes.
So that accreditation is very important. It means we shall start getting on board regular students, where we shall advertise, put on the papers, then of course inform people to apply. They come in and they pay some fee. They're going to be trained for 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month, even 6 months, and they are given a certificate which is recognized nationally.
Yes.
So that is where we're heading to. But now where we are simply offering those services. Then occasionally we also stage our own trainings.
Thank you. Finally, it will be unfair of me to just leave without asking this question. Mabanga has been there pre-devolution and it's there during devolution. What has changed? Let's say for the time that devolution has been there, how has it impacted in the functioning, day-to-day functioning of Mabanga as an institution?
Yeah, I think I remember very well. I'm lucky to give you this story because I was there in the national government. Before devolution, I was also a principal of an institution like this in Begeton Lamo.
Yes.
I was a principal there. So I know what was going on in such an institution before devolution and what is going on right now. Actually, there's a lot of changes because we have had more budget and more support from the county government. And remember, initially, ATCs were under national, were being supervised from Kilimo House, Nairobi. And that supervision was more or less at a larger interval. But right now, in the counties, for example, my supervisors are always here.
The turnaround time is shorter.
Yeah. So the supervision and then support, monitoring and what's going on, it's very close, it's like on daily basis. So it means, as a principal and staff who work here, they must be on their toes. You cannot relax because your bosses are just next to you. Then the support we are getting, of course, is massive. And remember, for this period of time, for the last 10 years, we have received more stakeholders coming into Mabanga because of the support we have got from the county government of Bungoma. We've done a lot of transformations. You can see, even right now, if you walk around, there is a lot of renovations, development, new structures are coming up. Even this room, this office was something like this 2-3 years ago. It's now improved, refurbished. It's so nice. So I think the county government approach was superb, and Mabanga has benefited immensely because I cannot say that we wish to go back to national government. We continue, and remember, the Ministry of Agriculture or Agriculture sector was fully developed. Mabanga Training Center is fully developed. It's under the Ministry of Agriculture. So our Baba and Mama is the
Bungoma County.
And I cannot complain. They have really supported us. Even the county assembly, both the legislative and
the committees.
No, legislative arm of
the executive.
And the executive, they are really supported Mabanga.
Yes.
So I cannot say that we are performing poorly under the account system. No.
You have seen change.
A lot of changes.
Yes.
And which you, of course, if you are here earlier,
yes,
you can embrace the changes.
Yes. Probably as we come to a conclusion, what is the future? Where do you see Mabanga in a few years to come? Based on the fact that you've told us there's been a lot of probably a reduction in the chain in terms of making decisions since the devolution. You have told me about issues of getting certification to at least offer more, and the coming in of the partners in the past few years, say 4 or 5 years. Where do you see Mabanga heading, and what should people, the community around, what other services should people expect in the near future from Mabanga Agricultural Training Center?
Yeah, to me, Mabanga is on a trajectory that is rising, because we have, as you can see in our vision and motto, is a center of excellence. Is an agriculture incubation center. So, which means that in the next 5-10 years, we are supposed to develop our technologies and the strategies around there. So I know Mabanga is going up. I know Mabanga in future is supposed to become more digitized. Because, for example, now with the new, we procured recently Wi-Fi. We want this place to be digitized, so that at least anybody coming here, you are supposed to feel that comfort of the digital world. We are not going to be left behind. We are moving away from analog to digital. So I know Mabanga in the next 5 years is supposed to be really a center of excellence in all aspects, not only in catering, not only in the conferencing. We want to do it across the two sectors, the two sections of Mabanga. The farm is supposed to be up and vibrant. For example, you had asked about whether somebody can buy an animal from here. That's a program and project which is not here now, but we want to start raising animals for sale, because we are sitting on 100 acres of land. It's most of it is more or less not utilized to capacity because of lack of course, funding and support. But remember, before I took over in 2017, Mabanga was performing below bar. We are now raising. We were doing around 10, 11 million a year, but now we are heading towards 25, 30 million in a year. So which means it's going up. If we get more investment and more goodwill from the current government and our stakeholders, I expect Mabanga to rise even more. There is a good vision for Mabanga. So long as the leadership of Mabanga, the drive, whoever is heading this institution, has the drive and the will of the people. He has that, is motivated, and he has the ability to mobilize stakeholders and support stakeholders who can support this Mabanga so that they can grow up. Me, what I wish to see is we are having regular programs where students are admitted here, not necessarily students. Farmers come here to learn and go home and implement. A farmer with a certificate, then he goes back home and implements. He remembers that this technology, he got it from Mabanga etc. That would be very good. We want young and even elderly, both even retirees, come here to learn. Somebody is retiring from government, so different company, but they know when you go back home, you go to Mabanga, you learn a technology you want to go and implement. We want young people to associate themselves with Mabanga, because once they like Mabanga, for example, currently we are hosting a very important project here in Mabanga. We have Kenya Climate Innovation Center. Under there we have Agribiz. And Agribiz targets youth and women. And it's purely it's based on digital and technology. That center is here, and I can see more youth and women coming in. I can see more youth and women embracing agriculture. And that is what we wish to build on as we go ahead. There is actually bright future for Mabanga ETC. And personally, I hold it very closely. I wish nothing wrong to happen to Mabanga until I see that vision fulfilled.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Karibu.